So you've mustered all the courage to ask a girl out, and she said yes. The next thing you know, you're on your way to meet her, and your mind is running 100 miles an hour. You're worried whether or not you even look good, concerned if she's even gonna show up. Or, what if the date goes horribly wrong? And now you start to panic. But don't worry, we've all been there. Today we're gonna explore how to ace a first date and some tips and tricks that you can put in your back pocket just in case you need them.
We tend to get nervous over things that we don't have a lot of experience in, and dating, just like riding a bike, takes practice. When I was out of the dating scene for a while and I was just trying to get back into it, I was super nervous because I was so out of practice. And so I was not at that level of confidence that I wanted to be at. There's also a certain expectation when you go into meeting someone new, like, what if they don't like me? Or what if I don't like them? What if the date goes horribly? And this all ties in with not living in the present moment and worrying about what might happen when it hasn't even happened yet. So here's what I would do when I feel jittery right before a date. I would take slow, deep breaths and just focus on my breathing pattern. So just breathing in and breathing out. And I keep doing that until all the fleeting thoughts in my head are gone. And that's just to make sure that I can refocus myself back into the present moment and be in the present. And we're going to talk about more of that in another future video. But for now, that's all you need. If talking to someone will help you take your mind off things, phone a friend that you trust who knows that you're going on that date. Talking to someone familiar and hearing that familiar voice will help you a lot more than you think. Another way to help with the pre-date jitters is to focus on physical tasks. But obviously, don't tire yourself out. It's good to have expectations, but there's no need to overplay it in your head. And there's also no need to expect for the worst, because then you'll just be looking to fail. Remember, she agreed to go out with you when she could have just blown you off. It's not a job interview. You're not applying for a position. A date is a fun activity like going out with your friends, only you're meeting someone new, and that's even better. And if it doesn't work out, so what? Most importantly, take action. You can sit on your computer and watch me talk about first dates over and over and over again. But if you don't go outside and actually go on that date, you're just going to be that guy sitting in front of his computer wondering what it's going to be like going on that first date.
Remember, sincerity is the key. Women can feel when you're not being real with them. So always be sincere and stay true to yourself. When she asks you for an opinion, don't give her an answer that you think she might like. Voicing out your opinion shows confidence, and women don't like guys who pander. Imagine agreeing with everything that she says. That would not only cause issues down the road, but that would also come off as creepy and weird. Plus, you can also use differences in opinion to tease her, which definitely makes the date much more interesting. You shouldn't have to lay all of your cards out all at once, but she does want to see the real you.
And showing the real you starts from leading that energy from the very beginning. And that just simply means to be open and friendly to the best of your abilities. For God's sakes, she is the woman that you wanted to go out with, and she's standing right in front of you. Most guys are stoic 90% of the time, but tonight is not one of the times to be guarded or emotionless. Remember, she might be nervous too, so if you can show that you're calm, friendly, and open, then you're on your way to a great date. Communication is 80% body language and facial expressions, so whatever comes out of your mouth only matters 20% of the time. It's not what you said, but the way you said it.
The key is to know that tonight is about her and not you. If she pays you a compliment, don't start blowing smoke up your own ass. It makes you look self-centered and vain. Ask questions about her instead of talking about yourself the whole time. This shows that you're interested in her. Don't start staring at other women. This is not only disrespectful for the girl that you're with, but it also shows that you're not interested in her.
Make sure you compliment her by speaking from the heart. Instead of saying, "You have beautiful eyes," you could say something like, I apologize in advance if I have to stop mid sentence because I feel like I'm just losing myself in those beautiful brown eyes of yours. Because anybody can say, you look great, but that's not personal. And she probably heard it a million times already. Obviously, don't overdo it, and definitely don't regurgitate stuff off the internet. It has to come from you and how you feel in that moment. There's a fine line between being a wannabe player and being flirtatious. And being a wannabe player will make her instinctively pull back because then you'll come off as insincere. The best compliments come from observing the moment and being able to express it eloquently.
Always remember that the finer details make a big difference. Little things such as opening the door for her, asking if there's anything she can't or won't eat, if she's finished with her drink, asking her if she'd like to have another one, wiping your mouth, and even little things such as being nice to the waiter or waitress. Women notice these things. So now that you're ready to make the first move, the first step is to feel the dynamic and notice her body language. If her body is generally facing towards you with no closed off signals and she's laughing and having a good time, then you're good to go. I'm sure you've also heard how everyone says that if a girl likes you, she'll twirl her hair or she'll laugh at all your dumb jokes. Well, all of these are true, so if you do notice any of these signs, you can make your first move. During the date, you can try to hold her hand or even put your arm around her shoulder. You'll know when the time is right, even though there might be a million different things running through your head. You'll know when it's the right time to hold her hand, and all you have to do is take the leap of faith and trust yourself.
So you went for it, and you made that first move, and the date's going great. So now you're wondering, how do I know if it's the right moment for the kiss? So full disclosure, the first kiss may or may not happen on the first date because it depends on how the date went and the kind of girl she is. So if she's more shy, or if she wants to take it slow, for example, it might not happen on the first date. But here's how it generally goes. So the date's almost over, and you guys are leaving the restaurant, the club, the event, or whatever. Take a walk. If she's interested in you, she'll want to have a kiss. How do you know that? She'll be lingering next to you even if you guys are not talking, and she'll be fidgeting with her things like her phone, her keys, her cigarette, and if she's not interested in you, she will want to leave as soon as possible. Stand close in front of her, toe to toe. Even if you guys are not talking, just look at her and nothing else. When you feel like the entire world seems to be fading out of focus except for her face, don't doubt yourself. This is the right moment. Lean in close, but not all the way. Let her lean in the remaining and enjoy the moment that you've both been building up to tonight.
Now that it's time to part ways since the date is over, do you think it's finished? Well, not exactly. You can still offer to send her home or walk her home, but don't force it if she doesn't want you to. Remember that the 3-day rule does not apply to girls that you've gone on a date with. If she was truly into you, she wouldn't care if you texted her immediately after the date. You could send her a text to check whether she got home safe or wish her a good night. You can also text her telling her how you enjoyed the date and you'd love to see her again. Keep it simple and sweet. Don't start writing long paragraphs and spamming her with every thought that's going through your head, unless you know for sure she would appreciate that. Just remember, at the end of the day, this was just a first date.
There's no formula for a successful first date because every date is unique. But it comes down to 2 words. Be present. When you're being present, you're not thinking too much. You're letting things go as they come. And that's when things start to flow smoothly. Everything that you need to know to ace your first date is already within you. We're here just to remind you that you don't need to let your mind get in the way of feeling your connection with her and leaning into your instincts, because that's all you need.